Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Anchor Identity Podcast, where your belief is your anchor. So I am super excited because I am now an author, but I'm more excited about what this book is about. It's called What or Who Does God Say That I Am? So many times we ask ourselves the question like, who am I? But in this book, you get my revelation, you get my testimony and things of nature because I had to switch the question from who am I to who does God say I am. And as you read, you get the scriptures, you get time with Holy Spirit, and you'll be able to understand that you are really a son and daughter of God. So get the book. It's on Amazon. Go to my Instagram page and you'll have the link there. Okay, so today we have a very special guest. We have Jay Entertainment in the house. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
Good. I'm so excited you're here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Okay, so you're really big in the LAIE area.
Yeah.
I know when I was a kid, cropping was a really big thing.
Yeah.
And I just recently met you, but you are original clown, cropping
Well,
clown, right?
we say original. I would say OG in the game, and when it comes to like OG, it's more of like people that started when it started. So Tommy the Clown, he started in '92, which is the original.
Oh, okay.
The founder, the one that started, the clown dancing.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So I came in the game about like I could say 2003, but I wasn't with Tommy. You know what I'm saying? My first clown group was True Clowns.
Oh.
Shout out to Lisa. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for giving me the opportunity. So True Clowns, and then from True Clowns, whatever, I started with Homeboy the Clown. Shout out to Homeboy, man, great guy. And then from Homeboy, Kool-Aid also.
Wow. Okay.
So I was with Kool-Aid for a long time. We did battle nights at LA Trade Tech College. So how Tommy, since you brought it up, since we're on that topic, so how Tommy started, or Tommy gave me an opportunity to come. Shout out to my bro Rocco the Clown. Rocco and Little Tommy told him about me. They saw me at a party. Cisco, shout out to Cisco, man. It's really some.
There's a lot of groups.
Yeah, well, not groups. You can say that, but these are individuals that I grew up in.
Okay.
In the clown, culture as brothers since I was like a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So Cisco the Clown, whatever, he throw these big parties in LA, like his house. He had the whole stage. He built himself.
And everyone's competing.
Like, not really was competing. It was a time like where we done with parties. And,
okay.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, you can say. But the times when he was like, he'd throw parties, whatever, and we just like, everybody just come to his party, his backyard parties and stuff like that, where they was pretty lit back in the day. And, that's where I came and they saw me. So, when talking to my brother, Rocco, he told me that, him and Little Tommy the Clown, legend, Little Tommy the Clown's a legend. Him and Little Tommy had a conversation and he told, Big Tommy, Tommy the Clown, whatever, like, hey, we should let him come, whatever. So that's how I got with Tommy the Clown.
Okay. That's cool. Okay. So you did that for how long? How long did you?
For dancing, I just want to go to like, the beginning before I even met Tommy the Clown. So my mom, shout out to my mom, I love you. So my mom, she's a really great mother. My mom, she saying back in the day when they had the paper food stamps, I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, they had the paper food stamps, whatever. So my mom basically, knew that I loved to dance. So her friends would come over, you know what I'm saying? And,
wait. So you was a little kid, like, come on, baby, dance for us.
Yeah,
show us
right. Yeah. And it was Michael Jackson.
Oh, Lord.
That Michael Jackson was my idol. I look up to him. I feel hands down he's still the greatest entertainer that ever lived. Mm-hmm. So I was mimicking him, dancing like him, dressing like him.
The glove.
Yeah, the glove. Yeah. So it's like, her friends, my mom's friends, basically would pay me through food stamps to dance. So I love dancing, whatever. So my first time ever seeing Tommy the Clown was at Compton College. And it had to be when I was in elementary school, went to Kennedy Elementary School. So it had to be like, I can say 99, something like that. 9 years old.
Yeah.
When I first saw him, he had to, I don't know if you remember, but Tommy the Clown, he had to the jumpsuit, but it was like the blue, just all blue jumpsuit, whatever, little patches. So that's the first time I saw him. It was like an event at Compton College.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the first time I saw Tommy. So, but basically before Tommy the Clown, the LA culture, I was already dancing,
So so you say you were dancing like in front of family, but did you dance like in dance classes or a part of teams and things like that? Okay.
When I was younger at that time, no.
No, okay. So you have always had this love for dancing. You see Tommy the Clown, or you saw him before, but then it's so crazy, it's 360 because you got introduced to him later on in life.
Right. And I feel like it was the biggest opportunity. Once again, shout out to Rocco and little Tommy, whatever, for them to, let me come. Because back then, like Tommy the Clown didn't let anybody get on. Like it was hard to get on his squad. And he had to get approval from, like, back then they had the high class. So he had the main people, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lalia, Lalia, I believe, Swoop, you know what I'm saying? Todd Eyes, and, like, these are big names, Miss Prissy. So he had to get, like, the approval. Like, so back then, if I wanted to dance with Tommy, I got to, from the OGs, I had to get approval for the ones that started.
So you tear comp. Dancer.
I would say I'm a good dancer. I wouldn't say I'm like the best.
Yeah.
Everybody have their different styles, but I just feel for Tommy in the year like 2006, 7 for him to allow me to, because I was still in high school at Louisiana High School. You know what I'm saying? So for him to allow me to come, it was an honor. It was a blessing because that's the big guy. Like that's the guy that started the movement. So yeah.
So you went from dancing and now you are DJing, but you're doing both.
Yeah. So the history of DJing, I remember my father, my biological father, he knew that I loved music. This is in South Central, how it was birthed out, how DJ was birthed out, I had multiple names back in there. I was trying to find myself.
Like, wait. Before we keep going, what were some of your names?
Oh, yeah. I had DJ Boogie, DJ Love, and DJ Love was crazy because I love. So I was like DJ Love. It was another thing was calling myself. I forgot. It was just like names like that. I don't think I could think about Boogie and then DJ Love. So I was just trying to find what fit me.
Yeah. Okay. So now you said your dad saw that you had that love for music.
Yeah. So my biological dad, whatever, Gilbert, he saw that I love music, and back then that's why I do make a statement, and no disrespect to other DJs, like you gotta have years. Like if you got years in the game, like it's all about a respect level. Like you gotta, like okay, that's that guy. Because when I started DJing back then, it was you DJing with CDs. And then literally you have to write on the CD to know what's on the CD. Like, okay, this is old school. And then you got another CD like, okay, this is, throwbacks or something like that. So you have to really write on it to know what it is. So I was DJing with CDs, and it's crazy how we sit it down. So I was a table right here. I had the table with the desktop, and I was burning CDs, like, literally going to like, I went to this church called Wrecking Crew, and it was, I'll never forget this mom, whatever. She took me under her wing. She know what I'm talking about. Took me under her wing, whatever. So she'll let me come over her house and burn CDs on her desktop, whatever. So I was DJing literally with CDs. So my dad brought the turntables for CDs, and I'm like, "What is this?" He was like, "These are turntables. Like, it's like a DJ equipment, whatever." I see you like music, so I'm like, "What?" I said, "Okay." So, he taught me a little bit how to use it. So I just had to. Like sometimes you just have to play with it. So I was playing with it. So I basically learned how to operate it, or how to use it.
Yeah.
So then it's crazy thing. You remember like the milk carton, like where they put the milk in, like the little plastic.
The glass. Oh.
It's like a plastic carton, like the milk. It's like crates. They call it crates.
Oh yeah.
The crates, like we used to make basketball courts out of it too. So I took a crate to make my little case and stuff like that. It was crazy. Like I was getting booked like that. It's crazy if you think about it. Like
at what age?
This is like 16.
Okay, so you're 16. You're already getting booked.
Yeah.
And then that takes you. So you've been doing it since 16.
Yeah.
And now you've created this business where you're being booked every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You are, you know, being booked every weekend. People love you. You now have Spider Man and Nikki, like you have characters and so forth and so on. So you're really doing a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So who are you? Like, if anything, like what's the history? Who makes Joshua Joshua?
So the name Jay was the nickname that my just being in the hood, like South Central, everybody had like a little nicknames.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a culture thing. So they call me Jay, obviously, abbreviation or just
Yeah,
basically short for Joshua. When you say like, who am I? That's a good question. I'm just a young man, African American man that just try to find a way out when I was younger. So I never knew my life would be where it's at right now.
yeah.
So just imagine like you're DJing and you're dancing and the drill teams and stuff like that. Shout out to all the drill teams. Shout out to West Side, rest in peace, Rochelle. I love you. Still, shout out to Johnny Hostetler. That's my first drill team. So I was drumming and the drill team and then dancing. So to be all honest with you, I was just doing what I love to do. I didn't think that my life would be where it's at right now. To be booked every weekend, shout out to the community. It's the community. They support me. Because I bring a different level of DJing. You know what I'm saying? Most DJs, and no shade to nobody out there, do your thing, man. I'm proud of y'all. But no shade. But most DJs just the old school way, mixing, scratching, behind the turntables, get on the mic, say whatever they say. My personality, when I was younger, I used to be teased, to be honest with you. They're like, oh, that's Hyperboy, or that's you got ADHD. It is crazy how me being so lit, hype, or whatever they say, ADHD is now like making me money. You know what I mean? So what people say is we love your energy. I even have people that book me be like, I can't do your party because I'm booked that day. I see another DJ. They're like, is he like you? So people are really paying for my personality, and I'm an entertainer at heart. So when you say who am I, I'm just more of like loving what I'm doing, but I'm also making a difference effortless.
So how are you seeing yourself make a difference?
If I had a camera that was following me everywhere, I had little kids that I'm working, coming to DJ booth and looking at my setup, all the lights and all the knobs and looking at me and I'm like, man, come on, like, I'll teach you the basics. Like while I'm DJing, I'm literally showing them how to mix. I'm literally doing that. That's crazy, yeah. So I'm showing them how to mix whatever. When that happens, it gives me a purpose. Even like some kids be like, oh my God, like I got videos on Instagram. The kids be like, man, you the best DJ. I've never seen a DJ like you before. Just after I'm done with my set or, with the event, whatever, just the feedback, like I'm DJing, people booking me while I'm DJing at the same time. I'm in action.
Because I see your videos. So when you're not the person behind the DJ booth, like you are out there dancing with the people. You're out there, you got like the hula hoop game, you got the limbo game, you doing the line dances with them, and you get everybody, like no one should be sitting down. Right. I feel like that's like your motto, like, why is it down? Let's have a really good time.
Right.
So with that energy, everyone's like, dang, how energy feeds energy. So like how can I sit down? He's hyped, I'm gonna get hyped too. At least that's what I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, it's challenging sometimes too because you got some people who be like, leave me alone, or I'm trying to, dance, or it's like, no, like, but I don't care. I'm gonna keep bothering you. Like, it's times where I'm doing parties, I'm like, I see you. Like, they just sitting there, like, so. It do become challenging. So I'll be tired a lot because I do have a regular job, and I do parties on weekends, so I'll be tired a lot because I'm like booked all the time, and it's a blessing. I feel like anybody that's starting a business, they should it should be elevated.
But if it's yours, like that's your creation, that's your baby. So you're gonna put a lot more into your creation. So I feel like, he's like, you're tired, but it's still that encouragement because it's yours. And then you say you're feeding the community. Because I think we had a conversation before that you also mentor kids.
Yeah. For example, like currently, like previously, whatever, this past this past event that I did with the Spider-Man, in my mind, I'm always a thinker. So and so the mom booked me. Her daughter was 6. It was a sweet 16. Her daughter was like, the mom was like, my daughter likes Spider-Man. I want it to be a surprise. I'm like, wow. So she was like, yeah, I want to book you, whatever. So she sent me my deposit, stuff like that. So in my mind, I'm thinking like I could have just came out with somebody with the Spider-Man, just wave, take pictures. Like, nah, I want to give you a full experience. What inspired me was Disneyland. Mm-hmm. So when you go to Disneyland and you see these characters, it seems like you actually in the movie. Like they got the sound, they got the effects, smoke, the fog machine, stuff like that. So I love to give that experience, you know what I mean? So I'm like a sponge. I'm always soaking up like different ideas and things like that. So that week when she booked me, I'm thinking like I'm gonna bring that Disneyland experience that, you know, like you actually can feel the energy, you know what I mean? So shout out to my little bro, my little nephew Rocco, little Rocco the clown, whatever.
I saw him. He was flipping. And...
Bro, that wasn't little Rocco.
Oh, sorry.
That was Justin. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Justin Keith from TLC. But Rocco made the track. Little Rocco made the track. Oh, okay. Yeah, he made the track for me, whatever. I always go to him and I support him too. I got him in the DJ game. You know, I sent him parties when I came, you know, when I'm 2 booked. Yeah. So he made the track for me. So I explained to him. He's man, shout out to you, bro. He's really a great kid, smart. So I gave him the vision. He did it exactly how I wanted, like how I want my track to be. So when he came out, the Spider-Man came out my truck. He's like, like, you know, the whole superhero theme song. And he did it. Justin did a great job, wonderful job, because I wanted that experience. And you know, to be honest with you, I didn't get in it. You know, I'm too thick to get in it. So you know,
like, that's not Spider-Man.
I mean, well, I never got that. I just got like Spider-Man thick. Like I never got like that's not Spider-Man, but I got like
no. I'm saying like if you would have gotten it, you know, you say you're too thick. Like,
too buff.
That's not believable. That's not Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man, little squirty little kid. Yeah. So Justin, he did a great job, whatever. So I wanted that full experience, the flipping and you know the flipping. So he did a great job. He flipped. He helped me out. Like he even like so when you said leadership with the youth, he's the youth. He's part of the youth department, or you know, in LA, he was part of the clown culture. Really great dancer. So for me, I paid him to get into it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, for me, it's a business. So any kids that out there that want to get paid or work with me, you're gonna get paid. Yeah. So I paid him for it, and he was so excited. He like, man, he even said like it's like a mentorship effortless because they watching me. Like all these kids is watching me on Instagram. And one thing he said to me that really touched my heart, bro. He was like, you everywhere. And how I look at it is like, hey, he watching me DJ. He watching me fix on cars. He watching me doing character. He watching me every city, everywhere. You know what I mean? So, you know, these young men are watching. So you can inspire somebody without being in their presence. So when I had them with me, previous when I had him with me before we went to go do the party, whatever. He's a natural, so it just flowed. And then the crazy thing, I told him what I want him to do. Exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I even saw how on one of the pictures in your Instagram, I did my research, but like you had a group of kids that y'all was circled around and everyone was praying.
Oh yeah.
So like even they're watching you, but you're also instilling into them, you know, God, how to pray, so forth and so on. So well,
for that was the year probably like 2016. It was an old video when I tried to start Jay the Clown. You know, I just wanted to bring the culture to the IE. You know what I mean? Because the kids in the IE, they need it. Like they need that motivation, that support. You understand? You got kids that may not have a father in their life, kids that don't have no guidance and may not even have a meal. You know what I'm saying? For that night. I mean, but San Bernardino is really, really, if you do your research, really a tough city, dangerous city to live in. So it's just amazing how I think about it right now, how I survived as in Jay the Clown. Got so much respect from a lot of people because I was trying to put out something positive. I had a lot of adversities, things like that, but I just kept going because of God. That's my motivation. So I was only implementing, or I was like basically pouring into them because, you know, that's what I was looking for as a kid. You know, when like I said, Tommy the Clown, whatever. He did a lot for a lot of people that's in their 30s right now.
Yeah.
A lot of kids that's grown right now. Because he gave us like an outlet. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a gangbanger. You don't have to be a drug dealer. You don't have to, be in anything that's negative in Los Angeles. Like, you can come out here and dance and express yourself. It's a family. So I was, at the time when the video you were talking about, I was trying to be a family,
Yeah.
and trying to do the work.
I don't think you were trying. I think you did it.
No, I appreciate that.
Right? Because I mean, you sowed seeds, and now these kids are the same way, or maybe similar ways that how Tommy T poured into you. You're now a blessing by pouring that to other kids. So you're like, his legend. What he did is in you, and now you're giving it to the next generation. These kids are growing up now, because you said that was in 2016, right? Yeah. So it's 2025. So those kids are now, I'm pretty sure they're living out what you gave them.
Right. Some of them still follow me on Instagram, and they still reach out sometimes.
Yeah.
Actually, one of them, she's my goddaughter, and her daughter is my goddaughter. So I'm actually about to DJ for her party coming up. You know what I'm saying? Crazy how her mom used to dance with me back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And in the IE, whatever. And now I'm her goddaughter, and her daughter too. So she's booking me.
Yeah.
It's really crazy how, like, these kids, then we grow older, and it's like how God, unfold things.
Yeah. Now, you made a comment earlier, like, what these kids need. And like, some kids may not have a father figure. Some may not have like a mentor or even a meal, or there's something that they're needing, and you're filling in that gap. Is that at one point in time in your life where those are things that you needed?
Yeah, correct. That's a really good question. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not here to incriminate nobody or put them down, but the truth is the truth. You know what I mean? Growing up as a young man, I watched my mom work hard and try to do the best for her kids. And she did a great job. Shout out to you, mommy. I love you.
Hi, Mom.
She did a great job. Great job. I talk to her every day. Like, as president, I talk to her every day now. So we didn't have a father figure in the beginning, but my stepfather Troy, he came in. And to be honest with you, like, when a new man come in, like, it's like territory is like, who's this? So it wasn't like how I say, like, we didn't accept him right away. You know what I mean? But he never left. He kept going, and it was like a wow. You know what I mean? Just because him and my mom still together, still maybe 35 years later. But I have to be honest. He was there, but every kid needs to be loved differently. You know what I'm saying? Or needs more attention than the other, stuff like that. So I appreciate that he was there, but I was seeking more. Like, I wanted him to, put me to the side, but like, kind of sit me down, talk to me, like how we in this type of setting right now. And to be all honest with you, like, I wasn't the best kid back then. I got in a lot of trouble. Was running with the gangs, and doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing. And a lot of that, now that I look at because you got to do a lot of soul searching, a lot of reflecting. So now I look at it like, I basically was seeking for love, but in a wrong way. If that makes sense, Yeah.
So we look at love differently. So, and we receive love differently. So when you said that, you became parts of gangs and so forth and so on, what did they fulfill in you?
So we're gonna keep it real. It's uncut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up in South Central let me go back.
Okay.
Originally grew up in Compton, California. In my first, like, my school that I went to was Kennedy Elementary in Compton, California. And first time I knew I fell in love with drums or playing the drums was at that school, elementary school, Kennedy Elementary School in Compton. And my first drum was a tenor drum, and I got it tattooed on me, by the way. So yeah, first drum was a tenor drum, whatever.
A tenor drum?
Yeah, tenor. It's just a single drum that you play.
Okay.
Well, single, like so. I was their first drummer. Kennedy Elementary School. I was their first drummer. So I grew up in Compton. Compton was a great experience. I can't really think about nothing big. I can think about something bad. I have a scar in my head. I used to backflip like crazy off the house.
Off the house?
Yeah, like that's like the thing we had. Like it's like, if you want to be honest, it's like a hood Olympics. You know what I'm saying? So we used to take old beds and backflip off the old beds and stuff like that, like from the alleys and stuff like that. It wasn't sanitary, but as a kid, you're not thinking about that. Yeah. So it was one tragic, whatever, incident that happened that I was, young kid, the girls outside, so I was trying to impress, saying the ladies. So I got on a fire hydrant. I backed up the fire hydrant. That's how I got the scar in my head. Well, bust my head wide open.
On the fire hydrant, or? Yeah,
so when I did the backflip, I'm in the air, mid-air, come down, bust my head on the fire hydrant, and I had to literally like push myself off of it. It's crazy, and that's how I got the scar in the head. And I feel like God is amazing because I'm still in my right mind.
Yeah.
Because that's head trauma.
Yeah.
So I bust my head off the fire hydrant in Compton, California, trying to impress the girls. And you can literally see like my brain, like literally.
Oh my God.
So the pain was so severe that like my body just went into shock, like numb. So my stepdad, again, bring him up. Man, that's crazy. He remember. He watched it. He gonna remember. I guarantee he gonna remember this. So at the time, my stepdad had his little car, or whatever, and I'm crying, and shout out to my sister Shannon, whatever. Like I think she heard me crying, and they start rushing out the house, like, what's wrong? So I was doing this, and then as soon as I moved my hand, they saw it, and my sister was like, oh no, my God, like she was scared. So then my stepdad, Troy, whatever, he had this car, and I don't remember if I was in the back seat with my sister, whatever, but she was holding me or something like that, and they were telling me to keep crying, whatever, but my body like went into some type of shock where I couldn't feel anything no more. So I was rushed to the hospital, and I had to get like 16 staples. They stapled my head back together. They first, shoot it. They gave me like a shot, for bacteria or any type of affection, whatever. And then they stapled my head back together. So yeah, Compton. Then so going back to your question, so then Compton. So then we moved to Los Angeles, South Central. So I was there for a long time. On Imperial and Broadway. So everybody from LA, you should know where that's at. Like Imperial and Broadway. That was like the creation of Who Am I? You know what I mean? Because that's where I got into gangs, like hanging out with the gangs. Like I'm gonna keep it real. I'm never a fake guy. I never got put on, but me being around, affiliated with them, they made me like their own, if that makes sense. And it was the Broadways. You know what I mean? So they made me like their own, whatever. But I was still hanging around them like tough, like every day with the OGs, Big Noon, I ain't gonna say too many, because,
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, confidential. But yeah, hanging around the OGs and stuff like that. And that's why I got in a lot of trouble. Like that's why I got a lot of trouble. So so we moved to LA, South Central, and yeah, we did a lot of stuff.
So you made a comment that they made you want to like their own. So you were looking for belonging.
So Big Noon, I can say that one name. Big Noon from Broadway. He, and I don't know where he at today. If I ever meet him, I'll say thank you. Because he's a gang OG, like shot caller. So he never, he asked me, I mean, that's kind of like in the culture or in the territory. He asked me, he wasn't like forcing me, like, man, you're going to be a part of the hood. Like, he was like, man, when you going to, get put on, you know what I'm saying? And I was at his house and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And he knew I was DJing. So he's like, man, you can DJ. But one thing he told me one time, it was crazy. He's like, this is like, I'm like, gotta be like 17, you know what I'm saying? He's like, I don't think I was 17. I was like 15. Yeah, I was like young. Yeah, I was like 15 years old. he said he was like, you could DJ, but you only could DJ in the hood in a set. So I'm like, oh man, I'm trying to, be broad. So I'm trying to, expand. So I didn't like go forth with it. But when you say like kind of like, I just well, like, again, this is not for me to put anybody down or incriminate anybody, but I have to be honest, I didn't have a father in my life, and let me explain that.
Yeah.
Having a father in my life, from what I basically was looking for, was, hey, let's go to the park, or let's sit down and help you with my homework, or I know that you're doing bad, but let me talk to you. Let me try to pour into you. Let me try to instill some type of positivity in you. Even when times where a person would feel like he's doing too much, I gotta let go. Like, I feel like it should never be like a let go. Like, I see something in you, I believe in you, like, still for that love. So, all honestly is, like I said, because I have a relationship with God, I love my father, you know what I mean? My biological father, but he wasn't around, you know what I mean? And for me to be a Christian man, I'm never gonna that's not my character to put somebody down.
Right.
People make mistakes, you know what I'm saying? People do things. I feel like as humans, we would never understand why people do the things they do.
Like, everyone has their own story.
Yeah.
And those stories, believe it or not, they're all working at the same time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and it doesn't, my understanding of this, or my idea of this, is it's not to say that you're wrong or you're right, or it's also not to belittle how you feel, or it's also not to put like saying it's okay to do certain things. But like you said, we never know why a person does what they do, or why they behave the way they behave, and it's really because they had a story, and that story is playing out in their actions. So I definitely get what you say. Like, you don't blame, you're not trying to incriminate him, or at least that's what I'm hearing, right? It's just like, hey, that's your story. This is.
And then for that to happen, it made me stronger mentally, physically. One thing I admire about my biological father is that he was always like buff, fit. So, right. So that's why I got that from. He was big, like he always was into fitness, whatever. But it made me stronger to the point of not giving up on me. Again, me being like, to have the business that I have as a J Entertainment, it wasn't like I sat down, had a vision board and wrote it down. Like, I had a thought, I had many thoughts, whatever.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like planned. Like when I was in LA, it wasn't like something I was planning. It just happened. Like a lot of what people see that I do on the internet, it's a gift. You know what I mean?
Well, before we get to that, so what led you out of the game? You said it was a thought. It was a.
So it's about to get real. So what led me out the game? I was never put on, but sometimes in that culture of LA, when you was raised in that hood, they see you as their own. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So me being around the big homies, you know what I'm saying, and things like that, like automatically I was like their own. You know what I mean? It was a guy that named A-Man. He was from Broadway, whatever, and he was cool. You would never can tell he was a gay man because he was so happy, like, and things like that. It was a story that I heard that happened, some allegations, but I don't know like if it was like true or not, but I'm hearing like from everybody, and it's spot on, you know what I mean? That's why I don't see him no more and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But from growing up, all I saw was positivity from him. Like he always had his pet bull, like coming out. He always had he was buff too. Like I was around a lot of fit guys. Like he always had like a little white beater, his little khakis on, had the pet bull. You know what I'm saying? You know khakis are right.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know what khakis
are. Yeah, so he had his pet bull. So he was always a positive dude. Like you would never thought he was a gay man. He was positive. He was actually dating a girl in the building that was the building I grew up in, right? This building was like our little hood because it's like it sit right there on Imperial and Broadway. If y'all know, if you from LA, you know what I'm talking about. By the fish market, the best fish ever. They still standing, bomb fish. Like you should try it one day. Imperial and Broadway on 111th and Broadway. It's in South Central. Our apartment set right there. So he was always coming, and he never even influenced us to be a part of the Broadways, like, cause he really from Broadway, like never did. He was always over there with us, and he was like a big brother kind of. Like I've never really seen nothing negative from that guy.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he was very positive and talk about working out, and I saw positive with him. So what got me out? It was tough because you understand, like when you're a young man getting ready for school, walking out, you got the gangs right here. You see the prostitutes, you see the druggies, the homeless. So it was a lot of negative influence, what I'm saying, where I lived at in Los Angeles, South Central to be exact. So what just kind of navigated me away from the game was church. Um, I remember one day I was riding a bike on, 112th, and then I went to Imperial, which is the main highway that goes through, you know, that area of South Central, Imperial Highway. So it was a church right there, and it's this church that I used to go to for years. It's called the Wrecking Crew for Christ. Pretty good church, whatever. Pastor Earl, I'll never forget. It's been years. It was like a teenager. He stopped me. He was like, "Look like you need some attention." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Well, you need some attention." He's like, "Man, come to church, whatever." So I'm like, "What?" And I knew it was God because I'm a young mind, idle mind. I'm not even thinking about church. I'm game. I'm like that dude on my bike. Yeah. And so like in South Central, if you had like a bike, and if you from LA, with the pegs, you ride the person on the back, and y'all just, it was like that. It was like that was like Disneyland for us. And I say Disneyland was like a happy place for us in the hood because we didn't have a lot of positive influence. So having the basically the GT, I think it was a GT, like the little trick bikes, I forgot the name of it. Is it like a the little trick bikes with the pegs on, like what the professional like bike. Okay, yeah. I forgot the name of it though, but I used to ride my friends on the back, and we just ride all through the hood, whatever, all through our neighborhood, whatever. And that was like a thing to do, whatever. So he was like, "Man, look like you need some attention. Come to church." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." So it was another guy. I ain't gonna say his name on camera, but he's from Broadway, whatever. So I told him, like, "Let's go to church, whatever." So the church was like in the hood. It's set right there in our neighborhood. So we went to church, whatever. He's like, "All right, cuz, like, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's go." So we went to church, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't feeling it. He left. You know what I'm saying?
And like during the service,
yeah, he left. He wasn't feeling it.
Okay, so you stayed.
Yeah, I stayed. And this is when my life started turning around. I stayed, whatever, and then.
But why did you stay?
I mean, right now I can say the Holy Spirit. At that moment, I don't know. I wouldn't know. Like, but right now I can feel like it's the Holy Spirit. So I stayed, whatever, and then Pastor Earl was like, "You play the drums?" Because they didn't have a drummer. I'm like, "Yeah." So that's how the drummer started with Record Crew. So I started playing the drums, whatever, and they're like, "Hey, you play pretty good." Now I must say I wasn't the best drummer, but it's a point where you play at a certain point where it's like, okay, we like it. Like like, okay,
we can work with that.
Like basically we can work with that, whatever. But now I'm a good drummer now. But at that time, I was just like, learning. If that makes sense. Yeah. I don't play now, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so he knew like, you know what? You like you need some attention. Oh, you know what? You play the drums. Let's show the drums. And so now that burst of love, or wait, you already playing drums, and now he used that, to like encourage you. So you stayed at the church.
Yeah. So then the next day, true story, I walked to 112th and Broadway. That's like the main street where they be at. And it was Big Noon. It's another guy. I ain't gonna say his name on camera. But Big Noon, whatever. They was in the car, chopping it up, talking. So I'm like, "Hey, I want to try to go to church now." And I'll never forget it. He said, "You can go to church. It's still gay, man." I'm like, even I know that. So it's like, come on, pick and choose.
Yeah.
So to me, living in Los Angeles, you got a lot of men that's, soul searching and lost, and either you get beat up or because sometimes people in that type of environment don't care about you or don't care about what you got going on and stuff like that. So they told me, okay, well, don't come back to the hood. So I'm walking, look behind my shoulder, like make sure, anybody trying to get me, whatever. But it was crazy because that's why I say Big Noon. He was more like a father figure to me. So it's crazy that I had, even though what he was doing wasn't to the will of God, but I still had like male role model influence because he never came at me like aggressive. You got to be part of the hood, knocking at my door, like nothing like that. Like he really was just like chill, like with it.
So then, so you're out. You go back to the church. You go to church. You're now a part of their band, and from there, I do remember something though, because you were talking about how you didn't have a father figure. During that time, your relationship with your dad wasn't the best. So where are you and your dad now?
I haven't talked to him in a while, so I don't know. There's no relationship, but it's me being a different man today, with a totally different mind. Just keep him in my prayers. It's not like keep him in my prayers like he's a terrible person.
Yeah.
Again, people do make mistakes. They do things where it's explainable. Like you can't explain. We don't know why people do things that they do, but it's just for me being a different man or me really following God. Just do what the word said. Just forgive. So
a lot of I know people. I mean, I've had my share of issues with my dad, and I didn't grow up with a dad, but in that, how did you heal? If that's
I would say I would give him credit to this. My biological dad, I give him credit. Like he did take us to church. So basically, he did introduce God to all of us. So it's 5 of us. I got 5 siblings. So he took us, his kids, to church. I believe he's a minister right now. I heard that he's a minister right now. Good for him. But I feel like that was a great thing that he done to bring us to church. So for me, the healing, I had mentors, God dads, Prophet Omar. Man, I haven't seen him in a long time, but I'm pretty sure he's still out there preaching, doing his thing.
Yeah.
Took me under his wing, and I remember Prophet Omar from the Record Crew from Christ back in the day. He had a wife, a daughter, and he cooks. That man can cook. He'll cook. He just like literally just took me under his wing, let me spend a night, and tried to help. So it's really some good black man out there that's really trying to help whoever they come across with, or whoever they have experience with. So for me, no relationship. And honestly, to be honest, like I do as a man that's in my 30s, I do search for that love still, and seek for it. Do I have it now? No.
Seek for what type of love?
Love from a man, like let's go bowling, like let's go golfing, fishing, like iron sharper iron. Are you pouring into me? Just as well, you know what I'm saying? Like basically just being around a good, solid brother it's really important to a black young man that's trying to find his way. Because I mean, if we be honest that we live in a world of chaos and things is going on right now and stuff like that, and with the ISIS situation, and we need some positivity. So when I say have a relationship with a man, like it gives me joy to hey, let's go play basketball. Let's go to eat, whatever. So with my kid, he's fortunate because I pour into him, like and very smart little dude. I like I said, I thought I can have a kid. It was a time where I was skateboarding. I was skating and doing like skateboarding. Built. It was in Compton. I built a ramp, which we not really qualified.
I mean, you said earlier you guys were jumping off the mattresses, so y'all made this ramp.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just like, we made this ramp, and it wasn't the best. You know, kids do crazy things. You know, when you know kids do some crazy things. So I jumped up the ramp and then I injured myself. And I just thought I could, have kids. And it's crazy how I got.
You were told that you couldn't have kids?
Not really exact. I was just more of like it was damage there, so it's more of like possibility. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's crazy how God. I used to look up to the sky like, God, why you curse me? All my brothers and sisters got kids. And I want somebody to follow my legacy, whatever. And God shut me up. He will shut you up. Like, he's like, oh, like, what? So, my little boy is amazing.
So how is you and your mom, the relationship between you two?
Me and my mom, when I was growing up, I was bad. If you understand the culture of LA, if you let your kids roam around and stuff like that. Not saying that she allowed that, but she allowed me to be outside, stuff like that. So it was like a thing to do. Get off of school, do your homework, go outside. So I was just roaming around, getting into a lot of different stuff, and what she wasn't too happy about. So she's just being a mother, you know what I mean? And it's like basically disciplined me. But one thing about my mother, no matter what I've been through, she never gave up on me, never gave up on me. She always saw the light. So honestly, I wish to get married, and I can't wait till I get married because my wife will have to be my backbone because everybody has their expiration date. So I feel like when God, not I'm not thinking about it, but when God do call her home in every aspect. I got her tatted 3 times on me. And so she's just an amazing woman. I feel like black women, and no disrespect to any other culture out there, but black women are superheroes because so much weight on y'all. And just for my mom, just looking at her, she got 5 kids and was doing the best that she can. And still to this day, she encouraged me. Cause I remember, like, through my career of being J Entertainment, I had the opportunity, like, about 2 months ago, I got flown out to DJ, and that was like the biggest moment of my life. I was plane ride, I wasn't too excited about. It was different. I sat by the window for the first time. Everybody tell me on Instagram, you should never sit by the window. But it was a great experience. My first experience, I was on the flight for like 5 hours in total.
For your first flight?
Yeah, well, the first flight was 4 hours.
But I'm just saying, you being a newbie, that first flight is 5 hours.
Yeah, and then crazy, like, connect with people. So I was in the airport, and this Caucasian guy was like, "That's your first flight, and you should have just did like an hour flight, not your first flight 4 hours." Like, so, well, it happened. I made it, and went to Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia is a beautiful place, man, to go, and for this family to see me in action as a DJ, and like, we want you to come out here, and they pay for everything. So that was the biggest experience in my career. So
first of many.
Yeah, so connected back to my mom, whatever, she was blowing me up every day. Like, did you make it? Like, is your layover? Are you okay? You go out there, and she was like, no offense to the family that booked me. She's like, oh, you don't stay at their house, whatever. You don't know. Like, so she was like worried, and the family out there that booked me in Atlanta, Georgia, they are amazing people. I felt the country vibe. Like, he had, like, I call it a submarine. He had like a big barbecue pit, like big like a car barbecue pit. He had fish fry. One day we had the pool. Like, the next day, it's so much food that he cooked. Man, I know God is about to do something for him.
So you got the Southern hospitality.
Oh my God! For the first time, just thinking about it right now, like, it's like I felt that love. Like, I wanted, like, it's like I didn't want to leave, but I have responsibilities back in California. So, big responsibilities. So it was a really great experience. Just my hard work as a DJ got me the opportunity to be flown out to Atlanta, Georgia. Like 2 months ago. Like, it was crazy.
That's cool. Okay, so how about you and your siblings? Are you guys close?
When I was younger, just my opinion, even if they watching right now, I love my brothers and sisters. There's 5 of us, 3 boys, 2 girls. I was, like I said again, I was a troubled teen back then, trying to figure my way out. So, they was older, so they was into sports and doing all different things, whatever. So, and I was like really a troubled teen, and I wanted to say I was a bad guy. I was just trying to find my way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just got into some things I shouldn't be into. So I just feel honestly they was teenagers too, so I wouldn't. I'm not putting nothing on them. Like I feel like our relationship wasn't that great back then.
Mm-hmm.
But now I feel like as an adult, like as a grown man, like the relationship is getting better. Like me and my sister, my older sister, we was talking, and, communicating more. Me and my brother, my other brother, he's in the army right now. He just got, deported to the army. My older brother, whatever, he's doing great. And that's a great. So when I think about marriage and family, my mom, set the foundation with my step pops, Troy, set the foundation. And then my auntie, I DJ for her wedding. So then my brothers and sisters, they are married and happy homes and families and stuff like that. So our relationship, I can say, it's better. It's getting good.
Yeah.
It's getting better.
So you just mentioned marriage, like
Yeah.
3 times. Okay. And I know even from Instagram, you're really big on marriage. Why is marriage so important to you?
Because I watch my mom. I never watched my mom, and no offense to nobody. My mom was never ratchet. It is not. I'm trying to be this. No offense to nobody that's watching. She was never ratchet. I only seen her with one boyfriend. I don't even know if he was a boyfriend. He was like a good guy.
Okay.
And then my stephouse. After that happened, my stephouse. So I only really saw my mom with two. Hey, just thinking about it, it's crazy. Like two guys. So I feel like she really respected or really care about her kids' opinion and stuff like that. So talk about marriage a lot because my mom and my stepdad been together for a year.
You said 35.
35 years.
Wow.
Years. They both retired right now. Got a house in Utah. They moved to Utah recently last year, 2024. So they moved to Utah, whatever. And I just saw that love. I saw the ups and downs, but what really stuck out to me that they never gave up on each other. It was times where we thought like, oh,
here we go.
It's done. But they came back together. I feel like that's real love. Watching my brothers, in sports and in relationships, and their woman supporting them right there. Like literally, they going to college. The girl, right? They well, let me be respectful. They married now. His wife is right there. At the time, it wasn't, but his wife is right there. My older brother, whatever, went to college. His wife, right there. So it's like my sister. Like I was saying, my sisters, whatever, with their spouse. So I grew up watching the family dynamic and like even holidays growing up with my cousins. We all in one house. Just to think about it, aroma like cookies, bacon, and food, and we all watching movies. And so family is very important to me. So I want to be married. I'm going to be married. Y'all watch out. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. Like I haven't posted nothing yet, but it's coming soon. But I haven't been thinking about marriage a lot because it's beautiful, to share a life with a woman that's like driven just like you. Y'all equally yoked and compatible. They got same visions and y'all get along.
This is so refreshing because there's a lot of podcasts and they're really, I think, in my opinion, giving a bad look to marriages and relationships and healthy, So to not see a Black man talk about the positivities of marriage, that's a breath of fresh air.
Like for me, I can be a bachelor because I'm a DJ. I do parties. I see women every weekend.
Yeah.
And some situations where they do some things. I'm like, crazy.
Trouble.
I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. So, but I choose not to. That's why my mind said I can be a bachelor, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm a public figure. I got a lot of kids on my Instagram, a lot of people that's watching me, literally. My every move, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I go, like I literally, like it's videos on Instagram where I'm literally in Walmart in LA. I live in IE in LA. Think about it. I'm living in IE and I'm in Walmart in LA and little kids, little girls, little man, young man. Jaden Tatum. I'm like, what? We watch your video, you be dancing on the internet. Like just recently I did an event this weekend and teenager, I guess he like 16, 17. He's like, Jaden, tell me what's up. I follow you on Instagram. So that shows that these kids really watching me and gravitating to me. So I really have to be very careful, how I move, and not like I'm a crazy person, but every every leader has their days, like bad days. It's actually the Bible. It says a righteous man will fall 7 times, but get himself back up. So I'm not perfect, but it's like, to me, I have a lot of weight on my shoulder, from the community to being a father, eventually being a husband. Y'all keep watching.
Can I add something?
Yeah, go.
So you're saying that, you have to be careful how you portray yourself because of the influence you have. But how it seems, that's not in your heart.
Yeah,
because it's like you're practicing what you preach, but you're just a good guy. Like, I choose not to do those things, not just because of what people would see or say, but because it's just who you are.
So to be deep about, this is that when you say a good guy, that's what people would look at me as. For me, when I'm by myself, it's just me and God. I just look at it like each and every day I'm trying to do better. Some days I'll make mistakes. Some days, I'm off. Some days I'm not. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to do great. So you look at a black man. Speaking for myself, I don't get a phone call from an elder or from an older man or from a mentor or from even some bros. Like, I'll call them sometimes, you know what I mean? Well, it's one of my bro named Halo. Shout out to Halo. He in New Orleans. We talk a lot. You know what I mean? He got a family for stuff like that. So that's why it's not really, all the time. Yeah. But I don't have nobody really checking up on me. You know what I mean? Like, hey Jay, how you doing? How's your mental? How's your mental? How are you overall? So if you was walking in my shoes, I'm a black man with a business that's just trying to do better and soaking up little pieces from what I see in the community, as in, like, when I go to church, or men that I feel like, I look up to. They may not know, just it's like if I give you a picture, a dark room, one light shining on me, and I'm just waiting, like, what about me? And I say, what about me? Because I do parties every weekend. I'm a full-time father. What I'm saying, go to work and reaching the requirements or expectations of the job. And for me, when I talk about, like you said, talking about marriage alliances, to come home to a woman that just rub my head one time, like that, just, like, ooh,
that's a big thing.
Yeah, it's like a fill me up, like a recharge. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like it's yeah, I could be honest, like, I'm hurt but still happy. So you probably ask your question, like, how can you be hurt but still happy? Hurt because I'm seeking for love, and the love that I need from a wife, from a father figure, and happy because even in the midst of me seeking for this love or this joy from a father figure or just a man and saying, let's go fishing type of thing, because even though I'm in my 30s, I still seek for that. And the happy part is about because I'm successful. So it's like every day is a battle for me because I don't have those things. And it's a battle for me because it's like a tug of war. Like, hey, you can just crash out. You can just give up.
In that success, is it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in that success, do you see God also filling you? Because I know you're still seeking, of course, that love physically, or that love in face to face in person.
Yeah, I can say, because I was driving recently. I think it was yesterday. And gospel music was motivates me, what keeps me going. I was just singing. I put it on my story. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just singing. And the youth be telling me this, like, you post everything. Yeah, it's called a story for a reason. And I'm showing people I'm not just an entertainer. I'm still a human. I'm still a person. You know what I mean? So what I post, people watching it. I had grown men, even older than me, like, man, you inspired me. Like, recently I got like a lot of people from high school, like as a kid, finding me on Instagram, like, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it fills me up, you know what I'm saying, for these men to reach out to me and find me, stuff like that. Even I'm DJing a pool party coming up for this young lady I went to high school with. Like, we went to school together. So it's like, it's crazy how you gotta look at it like we're kids. So they see Jay as a kid, And then it's like how it's operating. And then now they find me on Instagram like, what?
Who
Like,
is this guy?
yeah, right, that type of thing. So that's what motivates me more. Like I said, I'm far from perfect. And the crazy thing, I know God is walking with me because in the Bible, it talks about the young will seek wise counseling from the elders.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that. So I know God is walking with me because uh, I always try to keep a smile on my face. And for me to be where I'm at in life, I have to really, I hear this a lot. It's scripture would carry your cross daily. And carrying your cross is like just my philosophy of it, that Jesus died on the cross for our sins, our troubles, and for us. So I feel like carrying your cross is basically dying to bad habits or dying to things of, not of God, or dying to things that is not, right, or just a thought. Even a thought is
the things that are unhealthy to us.
Yeah, very, very, very unhealthy. So when we talk about health too, that's crazy. Like, working out, going to the gym. People don't know. I put gospel music on. It really motivates when I'm in the gym.
That does.
Yeah. So,
And I said healthy because I think a lot of us, we look at, I'm doing things that God doesn't want me to do. So I'm a bad kid, and I didn't check the box. But if you look at everything that God's telling us to do, they're all for our good.
Right.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So that's just what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's all for our good. Growing up in church, since we on the topic of religion or about God, I didn't see a lot of things in church that I could be like, oh, this is not for me. Like, I'm talking about in the church, the pulpit.
Yeah.
Like, it used to go down. I see people get banged on in church, people fornicating, and it's not putting them down. Like, I not the gang bang on somebody in church, but I did some of these sins myself, because I'm never a man that's gonna point. And it's a scripture in the Bible: take the speck out of your eye before you look at somebody else. So I just seen a lot in church that could have just like, I'm off church, whatever. But how I think about it is like, these are people who are sick mentally. So church is like a hospital, and they want to get well if you apply it to. You can't. This the most thing that really irritates me about some church people. You at home, I'm about to go to church to get the word, which the word of God says, study yourself approved. So God is always with you. You don't have to go to church just to get a word. I feel personally, my understanding or my opinion about church is just believers coming together and worshiping together. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to be among like-minded people.
Yeah, it edifies you, encourages you.
So I didn't see people go to church, get the word, and go. And I'm a witness. I've done it before.
Yeah, me too.
And go back and do the same thing. So when it comes to a situation where, and this may be a little deep, where I don't have enough money to pay my bill. Right. Okay. Cool. Solution. You go to church. And the pastor's like, and God gonna bless you. You ain't got bills to pay. And God gonna create a miracle. But it's a scripture, and there's some people out there that don't believe in God, but it's a really good book. Read it. So it's a scripture where it says, "Faith without works is dead." So logically, common sense, like, oh, okay, well, I can't think that I'm gonna be able to pay my bills if I don't go out there and get a better job, or if I don't go out there and go back to school or something like that. Like, we in America, they make money, like, so it's money out here. So if I'm booked every weekend, I don't have to want for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I got car no money just sitting there waiting for me to pay. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what I'm saying is that you go to church, whatever, and you can't pay a bill, and the pastor will give you a feel good message, whatever, because I say job to influence you, whatever, to do better and be better in Christ, whatever. But your job is to apply that to your life.
I think a lot of people are applying, but they don't believe, and they don't even believe in themselves. So a lot of people do a lot of things, but if you don't believe you're worth it, it still won't come to terms. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't believe you're worth it, so you're not going. There's only so far you will go.
Right. But I'll just say, for me, you're right. For church, it helped me because I believe and I still apply it. Like the darkest time in my life, where I was humiliated all over Facebook, because I was in sin. And I don't feel like it was just I was in sin, so I was when going back to like my relationship with my father I never had. So I was looking for love in all the wrong places. Mm-hmm. Jump into relationship to relationship to relationship, and not realizing the girls that I'm entertaining are. Mm-hmm. And hurt this a long time ago when I was younger. Like hurt people. So after I break up with this particular person, whatever, I wake up and my name is talked about all over Facebook. And I was going to the church. Shout out to Bishop Craig Johnson. I was going to the church, whatever. And there's some good brothers out there. They was trying to carry me through this situation because I never been through before. And it was times when I'm in my car leaving church and I'm just crying out to God because I never had a heart to disrespect, to hurt, or to create, to create something bad about somebody, to do something bad to somebody, whatever. So it was the darkest time in my life because I wanted to give up. I thought about suicide. Yeah, thought about suicide, just crying and crying. And to be honest with you, I know God is real because if it wasn't for me to be in church, then I probably wouldn't be here. I wouldn't. That was the darkest time.
But what got you out of that, though? So
God.
God, through the people at church and through your community. But you said that this was she's slandering your name on social media. So did you say something back to her?
You? And the reason I didn't say anything back because my pastor, I talked with him. Bishop, shout out to Bishop Craig Johnson, really great guy, really great guy. I talked to him, whatever. He was like, "Eat, having your faith, don't entertain me." Only feed into it. So I did it, and I just closed my life off to the world at that time. That's why I feel like J Entertainment would have been bigger already, but it was years I just stopped doing parties and stopped, and it's crazy you stop doing that because what somebody said, like, that's crazy, like how you can just, you never want to give nobody that power. And that would be my message to anybody out there. What matter what anybody say to you, you know what I'm saying? None of it is true. Whatever, you never want to give that power. So
did the community take what she said to be true, or
people that didn't know me? But I grew up in drill team. My first drill team was Johnny High Steppers. Then I went to Mudtown Black Diamonds. No, Mudtown West Side. Rest in peace, Rebel. Love you. Then Black Diamonds. So as a young man, growing up in drill team. Now let me try to paint this picture. Drill team is full of a lot of women. A lot of girls, because they do the little, steps and stuff like that. And you got the drummers. I was in the drummer. I was the bass drummer. OG, and on the bass drum. So I was a drummer. So being a drill team as a kid, I started drill team. I was like 12. You know what I mean? Okay. And then I'm gonna say 13. 13. And then from drill team to clown dancing. So when I had enough courage to go to that post, whatever. I forgot. I used to drum for a lot of churches. Play the drum set for a lot of churches. A lot of church in LA. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty much known. And what relieved me is I hate like people had my back. They was like, you a Jezebel, you casting her down, like she a D, you a demon, like we know him, like had my back. And then I got back into the community. They're like, man, we never believed that. We was looking for you. We was trying to encourage you and do for you. So I mean, with that situation, whatever, for me to have a relationship with God, I forgive you, and I say that to say it made me stronger. That was like, it was crazy, it made me stronger. It's a lot of stuff I want to say, but I'm gonna say it off camera. But just kind of paint a picture, like everybody went back to the community, back to LA, whatever. Because I never somebody said something. I'm trying to like read between the lines. I've never left LA because of that situation. I've been left LA, whatever, because of a job. You know what I mean? Okay. You know what I'm saying? I was working as an armed security officer or whatever in San Bernardino, and like these apartments. So I heard from him in San Bernardino. It ain't like I'm running from like like somebody said something. I ain't gonna say who. I mean, it's confidential.
Yeah,
I won't say, but
That is
yeah, it was the biggest time in my life. Whatever. Um, like I said, people that didn't know me fed into it. But I've known LA from Clown Dancing to Drill Team. You know what I'm saying? From being all over, you know, they watch me. Even people right now, like I'm getting booked from my high school friends. Like those, they watch me. So that was a dark time in my life, but the darkest time in my life, I'm just thought about it. Just came in my head.
Okay.
2024, I contracted full blown carbon dioxide poisoning.
Oh, that was just last year.
Yeah, literally last year, and I could have died. So just take you to the story. I'm asleep at a friend's house, super tired for like driving home, and he was going. I don't know what he was doing, whatever. And it was all over a broken stove. So I'm asleep, and it's how you know that God is real because I'm asleep, knocked out. Usually I just wake up at 4 in the morning, like 5 at the time, because I was at the time my schedule at my job was different, so it was 5:30. So I wake up at 5, whatever, because I'm like 10 minutes from my job. So I wake up at 5. I sleep through through that time. So I literally got woken up like at 3 in the morning, and I'm asleep. So my eyes are closed, and all I hear is wake up. Like what? Wake up. And I don't like spiders. So in my dream, it was like a spider crawling me. That's what woke me up. And I knew it was the angels of God because why would I go outside?
So do you remember yourself getting up and going outside?
Yes. It was like a movie. So like, why would I go outside? But as soon as I went outside, it was about to get dark. Because as soon as I went outside, I collapsed.
Wow.
Motionless. And all I remember is just, and that's why you gotta train a child the way they should go if you have children. Because I remember what I was taught as a kid. Blood of Jesus. So I said it 3 times. I'm like, the blood of Jesus. The blood of Jesus. The blood of Jesus. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, right? And so I said the blood of Jesus the 3rd time. I had enough, enough time to call call the EMS, 911, EMS, whatever. So I called them. They came and got me, whatever. Came and got me, whatever, and got to the hospital. Actually, they came and got me, and I told them like, this the symptoms, and they're like, oh, you have to be carbon dioxide. So they did the blood test while I was in an ambulance, whatever. I hate needles, but I had to do it. So blood test while I was in an ambulance, and they did it was like, it would have to be God because they really didn't know what's going on. They just went off my, just my description, whatever. And they did the test while getting out it's like they was running and stuff like that. They did the test, whatever, came back positive for carbon dioxide poisoning. And they imagine a giant glass bottle. So they called it the dive. So they put me in this chamber full of oxygen to bring my body back to life for 3 hours. And at the end, it's a still like door. They have to lock me in there. I'm laying down, like barely have room. I'm laying down. The only thing that kept me just level or something like that, because they had the TV show. They had the TV right there, and I was watching movies. So it was like you're in a place like a chew gum to unclog my ears. Wow. I had to be in there for 3 hours because the poison was in my bloodstream so much that I had to be in a dive for 3 hours to bring my body back to life. And I said that's the darkest moment in my life because I was thinking about my boy and knowing how I feel without having a father. And I don't want him to go through that, So then when I got out the dive, they had to keep me in the hospital for like 3 days to monitor me. So like that, I was in a hospital room where everybody came to see me. And I love the community. I love you guys because literally people that booked me came to the hospital to check on me, like literally. And that was crazy because I posted on Instagram. The reason I posted on Instagram, it helped because a lot of people was in my DMs like, I'm finna go get the detectives, the CO detectives, whatever. I'm finna go get the CO detectives because they didn't have it in their house and they had kids. So I helped and saved a lot of people from just telling my story on Instagram. And like I said, the doctors came in me like, if you didn't come in at 3 in the morning, you would be dead.
Wow.
This was last year, 2024. So it shows that God has a purpose in my life, not just for me being in my kid life, but a purpose in my life. So I just remember being in a hospital, room, pacing back and forth, just crying out with my gospel music. One of my favorite gospel artists is Jacqueline Kerr, and it's this song. Let's cry when you cry. It's a song where she's like, "I'm qualified," and it's like she's just repeating stuff like, "You heal me." Like I can be in tears right now. Like, "You heal me, you heal me." So I was in the hospital. It's crazy. I could cry right now because that was the most scariest moment of my life. Where,
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I could have been dead. Yeah, gone.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, after that, I'm looking at stories, and the next day somebody died in their truck and having the heater on, like because you're supposed to, when you're in your car, you're supposed to have a heater running while you're in your car. Died. So I feel like God gave me a chance to make a difference. So when it comes to back to like marriage, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect, whatever, but God knows that, marriage is. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. So you've listed a lot of adversity, right? What keeps you motivated? What inspires you to keep going? Because some people they give up.
So in a different category, as a father, my son keeps me going. But when it comes to business wise or the entertainment, the community, for their support and just the encouragement, and being booked every weekend. The community is what keeps me going. The kids, when I'm out there DJing and interacting with them, I had kids literally like I think she was like 7. After I finished DJing, she gave me a hug. So for me, it's some weird people out there. So I literally, out of respect, told her mom, like, "Hey, she just came and gave me a hug." And she's like, "Oh no." It's crazy because I got so much love in the community. She's like, "Man,
they know you.
Yeah,
like you've sown so much.
Right. Sometimes I forget.
Yeah, it's like you've sown so much, but and you think that's just about doing things for others, but I think we also sow with our character.
Right.
So people see your character.
Right.
Oh, I know.
And the biggest thing I've seen from a kid, it's a lot of other stories that we can be going on. But the biggest thing I've seen from a kid was he did, his mom called me one day and she showed me a video. So I'm on the internet doing my thing, and her son mimicking me, DJing and dancing with the crowd.
That's so cute.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing right there. So it's just like, that's what keeps me motivated business wise. As a father, that's an obligation. Like that's not even a second thought. Like, that's second nature. Like, yeah. So yeah.
Well, hey, I'm gonna ask you this question one more time. Who are you?
Great question. Really good question. So I feel spiritually I'm a soldier in God's kingdom. I feel like God is building me up, because why I have to go through not having an active father? Like, why I have to go through, adversities as a teenager? Why I have to go through, slander being talked about on the internet, or almost dying last year? So all these things that I had experienced it's a time where I was, in LA, South Central, in the Broadways, in the neighborhood, got a gun put to my head. Wow. And I was reckless as a kid. I was like, I didn't care. I was still like, I beat him up, whatever. And the big homie, like, he was like, "Nah, bro, like, you don't ever fight nobody. You got a gun put in your head." So I had a gun literally put to my head. And he bust, like, well, correct terms, he did, shoot at me, whatever. Wow. And the bullets never hit me, you know what I'm saying? So I know that was God. Like, in a way, who am I? Honestly, I'm a man of God. I told I told this young lady, I'm gonna pop out real soon. I ain't gonna say too much, but I told this young lady that uh, I feel like I want to be a pastor or something like in leadership. I'm already leading the youth. Well, I do as J Entertainment, but I'm gonna be a pastor one day. And it's not just to be a pastor; it's because I'm already doing it. Like,
yeah.
And through what I'm doing when it comes to my business, whatever. Because a lot of young men look up to me, even young women look up to me, whatever, and their moms trust me through the communication because of what I put out there. So when you say, "Who am I?" I can say I'm a soldier. It's crazy listening to this when I was younger. I always hear this in the old Baptist church, whatever, because I grew up in the Baptist church, and I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord, whatever. So I will say that, like, I'm a soldier in the army of God. And God has a purpose for me because I could have been dead last year. So I'm a black man that have to fight every day, and the fight is not a physical thing all the time. It's like a mental. You know what I'm saying? So you have to fight mentally because there's times where I want to go left, but God said keep going straight. You know what I'm saying? So I will just say I would literally go to a childhood type of. What I'm about to say, like, bring it to the childhood, like, type of environment. I'm a superhero. And I call myself a superhero. And if I was to give myself a name to be a superhero,
it's gonna be good.
Man, I'll call myself Mr. Active as a superhero.
Mr.
So imagine the kids say, Mr. Active, And the reason why I say Mr. Active, it may sound corny to some people, but I'm active in the community. I'm active in church. I'm active father. I'm active at my job.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I'm active, when it comes to, an active son, because my mom talks every day. So that's why I use the word active, because I'm active in everything I do. I have passion in what I do. So for me to be active in my community when I should have gave up when I was slandering on the internet, I should have gave up when I didn't have a place to stay. I used to, back in the day, I was homeless before, you know what I'm saying? So I never gave up, you know what I'm saying? So I'm active, and that name fits to me. That would be a superhero. So when you say, who am I? I'm a superhero to a lot of people because a lot of people are watching, watching me. So I'm active on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? And if I wasn't active on Instagram, like I just posted me playing gospel music with my uniform on, or, encouraging people, whatever. And I call myself a superhero. And who am I? I'm a superhero because I'm touching lives without even being in their presence. For that young man recently, when I did the party last weekend, to come up to me and say, J Entertainment, he was excited. Like, you know what I'm saying? J Entertainment, and we shook hands. I took a picture, it's on Instagram, whatever, because I'm active in the community. You know what I'm saying? He sees me doing positive things. Even the young man that I had to do Spider-Man, I'm active in my community. I paid him to be Spider-Man, and he said, I see you everywhere. So if we were to translate that, he see this black man doing positive things, so it encouraged him. You know what I'm saying? So I will say that's who I am. I'm a superhero, and my name is Active. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Active. You know what I'm saying? Like you have Mr. Incredible. So I'm Mr. Active because I'm active in everything that I put my hand, my art. Even being here for you to invite me to be on your podcast. You know what I'm saying? Because you probably saw me on Instagram, and I was, seeing how active I am in my community.
Yeah.
So you give me this opportunity. So if I wasn't active in my community, I wouldn't be here. So, so that's what I'll say who I am. And what made me who I am is through adversities, through pain, crying, and I've been as a man. A real man is tell you that he, saying it's not, so, through the pain and through just trials and tribulations, it made me who I am today. And the part where I think about is that I ask God sometimes, like, why did I have to go through this? Why did I have to go through that? Why did I have to go through this pain? And I just can think about our Father, because I believe you're a Christian, right? Yeah, so I believe like our Father, whatever, would tell me, because I had a bigger picture for your life. You have to go through that because you can't say that you're a Christian if you didn't go. Look what I went through. Look what I gave my only son to this world, and look what they did. Look what he had to die for y'all. For saying, Jesus, I gave my only son, my only begotten son to this world, and look what he had to go through in order for him to be an example of God, or example of what image that I expect for you guys to be. So for me, I look at God. God allowed me to go through these trials and tribulations, through these through the darkest time in my life, is because for other people, my son, the kids in the community, the people that may be watching this, whatever, for them to see a black man that never gave up, even when he had life against him. I had people in my family that told me that I would never be nothing in life. And look at me now. So I have to fight. In my life, I had to fight. I had my boxing gloves on, fighting different spirits, fighting, people, fighting, my own self. Because a lot of times people understand, you literally be fighting your own thoughts, fighting, you get in your own way. So I have to fight. That's not who I am. I'm who God say I am. Yeah. So you ask who I am, I'm a superhero. Mr. Actor.
That's a whole sermon right there.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. One more question though.
Okay.
So there's someone listening, and they've been on the edge of their seat, right? If there is one thing you can give them, because I don't want people just to listen and don't have something they can do to start, what is something that you can give them tangible that they can start right now to get them to their next step, to get them to where they need to be, where they want to be in life,
Right.
To get them the faith that you have in God.
Right. Well, I was talking to this special lady. It was, again, I'm pop out real soon. Y'all keep watching. And I told her my experience. So if I was to give this individual encouragement or tools to continue continue this life, or continue to have faith, or anything to inspire them, I want to give them what I experienced. And what I experienced is, keep your faith in God, even when the world is against you. Believe in yourself. Involve yourself around positive people. Believe in yourself. Most important, don't care what nobody else says about you. It's what God says about you. And stay active in the Word, and stay active in the church, and just continue to just believe who God say you are. So that's what I would give, whoever listening right now, give them the tools. That's what I would give them. I can just go off what I've done. I'm not going to just give you an opinion, but this is what I have done to, even to this day, to keep going. Because there's times where I may want to give up, but if it wasn't for God, and I know there's people out there that may not believe in God, but God gonna wake you up one day. So yeah, just continue to believe in yourself, and your source is God.
Thank you so much. You've definitely inspired me during this conversation. I've learned so much from you already. I learned more about who you are, but also see your heart and how you are a man of God. So definitely keep up the good work. The community has your back, as you said, and they're still there to support you, because you keep pouring into yourself, then you're pouring into them, and then they're going to pour back into you. So how can someone get in contact with you?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
the plug.
Yeah. So y'all know, as I'm J Entertainment, whatever. So I do everything. Mobile mechanic, DJ, party characters. I'm a youth activist, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm heavy. I'm basically a mentor, or a pillar in our community. So if you guys want to follow me, or basically find me, you can find me on the platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Everything is under J Entertainment. You can find me. That's where you can find me, at J Entertainment.
And they can go there and also book you as well.
Yeah. You DM me, whatever, or even request a DM, because if you're not following me, I can go through my request and find you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for coming, blessing me, and blessing everyone who's listening to this episode. And thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, we love you guys. And until next time, keep believing in God and keep believing because your belief is your anchor. Bye.